There's the good one. That's what we're looking for. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Terry with BarFly Fishing, Texas. And guys, I wanted to bring you this kayak right here. I want to show it to you. I want to tell you about it. And I want you to understand why I have it, even though I have a pair of Old Town autopilots sitting in the garage right over there. Well, one of the biggest reasons I want to use this is for skinny water. I go down to the coast a lot. We fish a lot of grass flats, Port Aransas, Rockport area. That water's really shallow. And if you're running one of the kayaks with a motor, pedal drive, any of that, you're gonna run too shallow and you're gonna hit your drive on the ground all the time. So you're constantly taking it in and out, in and out. It's a pain in the butt. It's not worth having that. It's right here, big bulky mess, right in your way when you're casting and bringing fish into the boat. It's just better to have a boat like this when you're fishing areas like that down there. We take this boat, we paddle out into the wind as far as we want to go. We turn around, we set side saddle wind to our back, cast using the wind as your friend, and we retrieve mostly topwater baits, and we catch a lot of red, speckled trout, things like that, doing that down there. Also, like a kayak like this, when I'm running the river catfishing for big trophy cats or even eater cats. And when I'm crappie fishing in the creeks, I need a skinny kayak where I can go dip brush, work the banks, jig and bobber. It is a perfect kayak for that. The reason I'm using the Wilderness Systems Tarpon 120 is because it's been around for 20 years plus, this model, and they've got it perfected. I don't think there's a better paddle kayak out there than this kayak for all around use, whether it's recreational, fishing, or just a plain day on the water. Let me show you a few things on this boat that we have. We've got a lockable hatch, we've got gear tracks, sides and in the front. We have a magnetic bottle holder with a little magnet strip right here, and it'll hold your Nalgene bottle or a clean canteen or anything like that. Heck, I was using Gatorade bottles in it this weekend. It's got a little lockable hatch, removable, lockable, watertight hatch for your phone, keys, wallet. Slides into these tabs and locks in. It's got a seat that's kind of unique. The back, it's kind of squishes down like that, so that when you rest against it, no matter what your height is, your lumbar is going to catch this and push it to the height your back needs it to be. Then the seat bottom has hamstring support. So you can pull up on this and it will raise up the front of the seat to support your hamstrings. Well, that's very comfortable when you're going to spend hours on the water. And then if you want to lower it down, there's some little tabs right there. You can just push and it lowers it back down. It's got scuppers under the seat. It's a self-draining hold just like all the rest. A little built-in cup holder here. There's a little paddle keeper in the front right here. It's a bungee with a little roller on it. The handles on this are fixed. They're not the canvas handles. They're attached with screws. These are hard handles and they're fixed to the boat. I like that upgrade tremendously because I've had the old tarpons and those canvas handles, they tend to rot out. On my boat right here, I've made some modifications. I say modifications. I put a Railblazer Starport gear track mount up front. This is for my front camera boom. I put a paddle keeper from, I believe, Yak Gear. And what I do is I slip my paddle under this front bungee and I rest it in this paddle holder when I'm fishing. So the paddle's reachable, it's in front of me, it's ready to go, but it's completely out of my way. Right here, I put another paddle holder on the top, and this right here is for my parking pole or my stakeout pole. I'll show you that in a minute. In the back, they give you a cargo net. Well, this cargo net is good for holding your gear in if you're recreational kayaking, but for us that are fishing, that thing's just in the way. I'll show you what I do back there to make my fishing trips a whole lot better. All right, so what I want to do is I'm taking this bungee that holds this net off, and we can use these little tabs for other leash down points. We'll get this off of here. All right, so now I've got an open tank well. There's an indentation here that's custom printed out for a milk crate to fit in here without sitting flat on the floor. It's kind of a little raised platform. This is what I use. This is the Pelican Exo Crate. So inside this bag is a milk crate. It's a Yak Gear milk crate. It's got a pocket on this one side, a little Velcro pocket for storage. It's got tool storage in the front, needle nose, a fish hook remover, fish grips. On the back, it's got another little pocket. You can just toss sunscreen, bug spray, whatever you need. Now on the back, this is one of the modifications that I made. This comes with canvas rod holders. The canvas though, it tends to be a little weak and the rods will lean and like, they don't stand straight up. They lean, wanna hang out a little bit. So what I did was I jumped on Amazon, I ordered a couple of bare rod tubes. These are replacement rod tubes for a multi-rod holder, and they come with brackets on the back of them. I just took an angle grinder and ground off those brackets and they slid right down in this canvas. Now, this is rigid. Now my rods stand straight up and they don't wiggle around. And this sits just like this, and it still fits in that compartment I told you about, molded in this kayak for a milk crate. So I dropped that down in there. And then inside, once I'm in the water and I'm fishing, I'll usually open this lid up. And this lid on the Exo Crate, it rolls back, and then there's a bungee and a loop on the back side to leash it open. Inside I carry a pair of brush grip. These are little, they have teeth on the end, carabiner, a rope, so I can grab onto brush or limbs, hook this to the boat, and use this kind of like an anchor. I also carry a bungee because you've got 2 tie down points, and I bring it across this, and I go ahead and put that over the crate so it doesn't move and it can't fall out. All right, another thing I carry in here is an anchor. There's various reasons that I carry an anchor. I put it on a trot line holder, wrap it around, and then deploy. It's a 5-pound claw anchor. And I carry that because I want to be able to clip my anchor to an anchor trolley and move my anchor point all over the boat. I don't want an anchor wizard or something on the back where I can only anchor off the back. And then if it gets hung up and you're sitting up here, boat gets a little tippy when someone that's nearly 6 feet tall, 200 pounds, starts crawling around trying to get that anchor unhooked. So for me, I want to be able to trolley the line and get it up to me. I want to trolley that anchor point to me, unclip, because the anchor has a float on it, and let it float off, and I'll come back to it later, and then I can use the kayak to go fight the fish. So I do that. The next thing I always have with me in a kayak like this is the assault paddle from Backwater Paddle Company. What I do is I just slip it right down in there. Stays just like that. And this is a Yak Gear parking pole or stakeout pole. Now that's why I put this other paddle holder on the top. I snap this parking pole into this paddle holder, and it keeps this this parking pole completely out of my way when I'm paddling or fishing. It's almost flush to the boat. It sits in here tight and doesn't go anywhere. It's completely out of my way. The next thing I installed is this, I believe it's Yak Attack paddle holder on this side. And I chose this one because it has a little bungee leash. So if waves hit your paddle, it won't knock it out of the holder and float away because it's leashed down. And I go with, from Academy Sports, the Magellan carbon fiber paddle. This paddle's $150. The same paddle from Werner is over $400. And to me, I can't tell the difference. I've owned them both. So the savings is $250, and you still have a solid carbon fiber paddle, and it's very light. It moves a lot of water, and I was in the Gulf in 25 miles an hour winds last weekend. It was great. I paddled boats fast, loved it, never got tired, never got fatigued. I highly suggest this particular paddle if you can afford it. Snap it in here, bring your leash over. Now it's not going anywhere. It'll travel in the back of your truck like that. It's not coming off. Next thing I like to always have with me is a fish stringer. I catch a lot of crappie, I catch a lot of all kinds of fish, and I always want to put them on a stringer. So I personally like using the Stinky Pants Stringers, and this is the 8-foot, and then I usually get the Stinky Pants Stringer clip. You have to buy this separate on their website, stinkypants.com. And in the description of the video, I'll have a link for a discount. I got a coupon code for them, for you guys. So Stinky Pants Stringers in the 8-foot. And you gotta understand, these are not cheap stringers. I think this stringer is $35. This is another $5.99. And you still have to put a carabiner on it. But what you have to understand, this is a lifetime stringer. You're gonna never have to replace it. Like, it's durable. There's no reason why you would ever need another one unless you just lose it. So it's an investment. You can buy 15, 20 of those little rope stringers from the grocery store, from Walmart, or you can get one of these and never have to replace it again. And they have a lot of cool colors and they look good, have a float on the end, which is really helpful compared to regular stringers, because this keeps the tail end of the stringer up. So if you're in the creeks and timber or brush, your fish aren't going to dangle down and get tangled up in the branches, because they're going to be held up by the float. So that's another must-have. I also jumped on Amazon and ordered a whole package of universal scupper plugs. They're tapered so they fit pretty much any boat. They're foam. They have a hard plastic top and bottom with a little draw rope that helps you cinch it down and smash it so it'll seal up. I put these in the front so I don't end up with a ton of water in my cabin where my feet are. I don't want my shoes soaked all day long. Now, a kayak like this is going to take on some water because you're sitting so low, you're paddling, the waves will come over the side if you get broadside. Kind of not a really good way to keep water out, but if you're in calm waters or you're in a river that's not really moving fast, you're stationary fishing, or you're fishing in low wind conditions, there's no reason you're wet, no reason at all if you don't want to get wet, and this will stop you from getting wet. A good set of these is $19 on Amazon for a full set of 8. I have a pair of these. These are Yak Gear anchor trolleys. And what these do is give you an anchor point. It's a ring. It's tied onto your line. Your line's tight between 2 pulleys. And you can trolley your anchor point from the front to the back. And that way you can decide whether you want to sit broadside, sit facing the wind, sit against the wind, sit down current, sit up current. It's all up to you. The reason I use 2 of these is this boat has a little natural kind of a arch to it. It's higher in the bow and higher in the stern, and it's lower in the center. Not as high back here, it's a little closer to the water in the back. But if you put these anchor points, these anchor trolleys, high up on the boat to keep them out of the water line, and then you pull that line tight to get you, you want it to be tight so that it doesn't bow out real far when your anchor's hooked to it. So you want it kind of tight. Well, because of the bow and the arch in this boat, when the line's pulled tight, it wants to hit the paddle or come up over the handles. It kind of gets in the way. So what I do is I take a pair of these and I mount one from about right behind the handle to the back of the boat. So my line's only this long. And then I mount another one from the handle to the front of the boat, and the line's that long. So I can clip it on the back anchor trolley and troll it to the back or the middle, or I can hook it on the front anchor trolley and troll it to the front or troll it back to the middle. So now I know I have to drill 4 holes in the boat versus 2. I don't care. They seal up fine, never had a minute's trouble. But then I don't have that line going all the way down the boat and looking out of place and feeling out of place and getting in the way of other things. So that's the way I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna install these on camera, so I'll make another video installing these right here so you guys can watch. The last thing I wanna show you is a drag rope. You wanna get you some rope, and you're gonna be surprised at how I do this. This rope already had a loop in it. I bought this one from Mariner Sales. I'm not sure if they made this loop for me or what, but you don't have to do it this way. What I do is I just tie double overhand knots, 2 of them, and then I use electrical tape and I go around the knots, and I've had ropes like this that lasted 4 or 5 years just tied up with electrical tape. It's crazy. So you put your loop, you feed your loop through your handle, you feed your tag end through your loop, cinch it down, and then this is nylon rope, so I take a lighter, I heat up the end so that the end doesn't fray, and then I just wrap electrical tape around it, and now I've got a drag rope. And I've been fishing out of a kayak since 2010, so that's about 14 years. I've had drag ropes on every kayak I've ever owned. I've always done them up with electrical tape, and not one of them has failed me yet. So I'm telling you, it's a good idea. I tuck it right here underneath this paddle keeper, and then I just lay it in my cockpit right here, and I'm good to go. Other than that, guys, the only thing I'd suggest you guys get yourself is obviously your PFD. My life jacket's in here, but also a waterproof bag. Now this one's got some water in it. I took a pressure washer and cleaned out the kayak, but this is just I imagine a 30, I don't know if they consider it liters, I'm sure a 30-liter Gecko Brands waterproof bag. And this is so you can take some rain gear or extra clothes or extra shoes or whatever you need to take so that you're comfortable on the water or coming off the water. Now I'd like to show you a little footage of me going down to Port Arthur, Texas, to the Gulf Coast in this kayak. It was rough weather. You kind of can't tell in some of the videos because I make good choices on where I post up, but I run my stakeout pole right here through one of the scupper plugs, and I stake the kayak out like in a shallow area. That way I can sit still. And I back the back of the kayak, I back it into the marsh grass, and so it holds the back still. But then I stake out the front of the kayak, and I can sit still, and I can cast out. So that's why I carry this around. Sometimes, if I don't want to put this through a scupper plug, I'll stake out here, and I'll use my brush grippers, and I'll grip onto here. That's why I have this extra fabric tape on here, so I can grip onto it with the brush gripper, and I'll stake it out, and then I'll clip it onto the boat, and I'll let the brush gripper hold me still. That way I'm not putting extra pressure on the scupper plastic. If you're in heavy wind, heavy waves, this boat's gonna beat itself up on the pole through the scupper holes. You'll end up with a crack in the boat. So if you're in calm water, stick it through a scupper hole. If you're in rough water, stake out here and tie off to it. You could use your drag rope to tie, you use your brush gripper to tie, whatever you need, a little bungee cord, whatever you bring. I use that for my old towns, and it fits this boat just perfect. And this is what the boat looks like, front to back. It's got a little drag plate that's replaceable, so if you want to drag it on the ground, if you have to drag it on the ground, you can replace this. That helps. It's got a drain plug. It's already rigged up for a rudder system. It's got the inserts with the tubes that go all the way to the front for the rudder cables and the mounting points. Again, fixed handle, a little 4-inch hatch. And there's the milk crate. You can rig that up however you want. The fixed rod holders, like I told you, they don't wiggle, they don't move. You can leash this down. Got your tools in the front. Your seat leashes down right there. It's got a lot of really good lumbar support. I'm really surprised at this seat. Again, how you can bring up the hamstring support. Little compartment here. I put a little waterproof tackle box in here with some, soft plastics and hooks. There's a little pocket here, but this gets really wet, so I really don't use this for much. And then you got your little dry box here. It opens up from the front. You can put whatever you want to in there. Lock it in. You got your bottle holder, your cup holder there, your gear tracks, all three, your dry hatch, paddle holder, your fixed handle, good sharp cutting bow, cuts right through the water. Guys, this is a great boat. Wilderness Systems Tarpon 120. Now let's take this down to the Gulf and put it in the water, and I'll show you how she does. And guys, there's one point I was pretty nervous. 2 giant tanker ships passed in front of me. They actually passed each other right in front of me with me sitting in the shipping channel in this boat, and the wind was blowing about 20 miles an hour. So I had white caps, I had 2 ship wakes, and I'm in a paddle kayak sitting 6 inches out of the water. You'll have to see that. See you guys on the water. They're literally gonna pass right in front of me and throw me a cross wake, a horrible cross wake. All right. we just gotta figure out which one's gonna hit us first. And be prepared for it. Okay, it's gonna be this one, looks like. That's what I get for being out here in the shipping channel with ships. There it is, there it is. Alright. I was impressed with how this kayak took those waves. It almost looked like it was no big deal. Really wasn't. I did make one mistake on this trip. I always make one, at least one. I bought a brand new action hat. It holds GoPro on your hat and you film from your perspective of your head. So when I look around, you can see what I'm looking at. I rigged it with a media mod on the GoPro and a lavalier mic with a dead cat. That's a furry thing that keeps the wind noise down. Unfortunately, I thought a cheap lavalier mic would be okay because I didn't figure the mic would matter, it's so close to my mouth. But unfortunately, it did matter, and every time the wind hit my dead cat, it started making a crackling noise. Still better than the shipping channel was. That was a nightmare. That was a nightmare. This boat is fast, and with this lightweight paddle, I can paddle all day long. So I'm up on the flats right here, and to get out of that horrible wind, I've backed the back of the kayak into the marsh grass, and I took my stakeout pole and I pushed it through a scupper hole and got me stationary in the front, and then I'm just casting out away from the bank where the fish would be cruising in on the incoming tide looking for food. There we go. There we go. That's what I think we're looking for. And we're using shrimp, obviously, so this could be literally any species of fish in the ocean, because everything eats shrimp. But don't know. Let him get close. See what we got. Oh, there we go. Angry, little red, little red. Reds are coming in. He's a little guy, but that's what species we're looking for anyway. All right. Whoa. First little red. There we go. What do y'all think? Pretty little guy. All right, let's go. All right. So, yeah, got some reds out there. Maybe as the evening wears on, more reds come in. Might get some bigger ones. I don't know. We'll see. I figured he was small the way he was kind of thumping on it. Thought it might be a cat. I'm glad it was a red. Maybe when this wind dies down, we can go out there and anchor up and throw artificial. It's kind of letting up a little bit already. Whoa, got him. There's the good one. That's what we're looking for. That's a good one. So they are moving in. Something's moving in, because we weren't getting anything like this earlier. There we go. I don't want to horse him in case he's a keeper, but I want to get him in here. There we go. I can't really tell because he's doing weird stuff. He's different than the last one I just caught. Feels definitely bigger. Definitely feels bigger. Yeah. I hope he's a keep. Oh, yeah. He looks good. He might not make it, though. He may be a little on the small side. We'll check him. He's fighting. He definitely didn't want to get caught. Does not want to get caught. Probably should get the net out just to be safe. Hurting the little guy. Let's get over here. Get over here. Get over here. So we can get him out. He's under the kayak. There we go. Yep. He's in. He's in. In the boat. I'm not sure how we just spun around in a circle, but we did. He might make it. He might make it in the box. Very nice looking little fish. Alright. Yeah. That one might just make it. We'll see. Real quick. Oh yeah, 21. Mouth club, 21 and a half. First fish on a stringer. Look at there. That's a pretty guy. He's got a little blood. I stuck him in the tongue. He's all right though. All right, reds are moving in. Just had to wait a minute. That's it. Just had to wait them out. Got the old Stinky Pants Stringer. Actually, it's a brand new Stinky Pants Stringer. There we go. Boom. Clip it on. Flip him over. There you go, buddy. All right. Promise you'll be all right. He's acting like he won't be all right, but he will. Get over there. See? He's fine. He's fine. Aside from being on a stringer. Let's see if we can do that some more. We got fish coming in. I mean, we were waiting on the tide to come up, and sure enough, as soon as the tide come up, reds come in. There we go. Got him. There he is. That's another nice one, guys. Yep. If it's a red, these reds are coming in. These reds are coming in to feed. Oh, yeah. This one's stout. Oh! Ah, I think he just broke off. Yeah, that one was stout. It's alright. We can tie back on. It's maybe my 10-pound. Let me see if it's my 10-pound. If it is, we'll just throw back out this. I got this other one back here. Whoa. already. Yeah, I think so. I think that's my 10. Dad, burn it. Why am I fishing with 10-pound braid? This big old monster redfish out here. This ain't much better. It's 15-pound braid, but it's a little more stout. Kind of like I do catfish. Let them pick it up and take off. He's got it. I got him. Oh, it's a smaller one. That doesn't even feel like a red. I don't know what that feels like. But then again, he may not know he's caught. And, you know, you get him up close and then he goes nuts. And, oh. Yeah, that's red, looks like. Yes, sir. Another red. He's not very big though. He's old. I don't know, call them rat reds or some guys call them something else. I'm just gonna call him a little red, a little small one. He's not that small though. He's getting there. He's getting there. That's a teenage red right there. Teenage red. Look at that one. Oh, oh, dadgummit. I was trying not to let that happen, but it happened anyway. But get him out. There we go. That's a pretty one. He's not long enough. Want to see how long he is though? Just to give you a gauge. I'd say 18, 19, maybe 17, 18. I don't know, something along there. Ooh. He's hard to handle. He's young and feisty. Yeah. So 18 and a half. 18 and a half, guys. So there he is. All right. I dunked that reel in the salt water. I don't want to do that. I can help it. So now we're gonna have to do some work to that reel. Ow. Got him. Oh, he's not happy to get hooked either. Oh, he let go. Or I didn't get him hooked good enough. Dadgummit. I thought I had that one. I had him good. I thought I had him good. That was a big one too. That was a big one. What's going on here? He didn't pull the hook, so I don't know. The hook sharp. I can feel it. Must have just had him through the lip or something. Got him. All right. This one's coming in. I don't think he's very big. Another one of those little rat reds, whatever they call them. Runt reds, rat reds. I think they call them rat reds, but I can't remember. Maybe not though. Yeah, I think so. We'll get him up here and put him on the board just to be safe. It's a red for sure. Yeah, he's a little guy. He's a little small one. Another one of those like 18s. 18 inch. Red. That's all right. I'll take an 18. Oh, come on. Let me get you off the hook. If you just quit flopping, I'll get you out of here. There you go. Man, I should keep losing the big ones and hanging on to the small ones. As soon as I catch one, my kayak spins around in a circle. Well, I guess you get the message. I sit here and catch fish until I run out of shrimp, which is a couple of hours. It was a lot of fun. I love coming here. I come here all the time, and I'm not going to stop anytime soon. And I did fix that lavalier mic issue. As soon as I got home, I turned around and ordered a Rode Lavalier Go. It's like $100 lav mic, so that should fix all my sound problems anyway.